Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where I've been trying to find a good contract. I'm not too interested in doing any of these. We did get one plant flag on Minmus, and we are going to be going back to Minmus, so I did pick that one up, but otherwise I was warping around at relatively low speed and coming back to the Space Center frequently, and we were just getting a whole lot of nothing. Now we're very close right now to our Griffin 3L node, 5 days away from that. So we're going to do that for now, but I did want to hop over to our Moon Experiment Control Center and see what's going on, because I have not been getting any science from here that whole time warp. So why aren't I getting science? I mean, obviously the seismometer we're not going to get anything from. It's completed, it's just, it hasn't transmitted the science. We're connected. Why aren't we transmitting the science? I'm confused. And obviously these aren't going to be doing much. And I wasn't getting any from Minmus either, which I'm guessing is the same issue? Here's the Minmus one. So let's see if that's the same thing. Like, it completes all of the science. Okay, it actually transmitted all of its science. Maybe it's just a, maybe it's just a display bug, and the Moon one transmitted all of its science as well? But if that's the case, then the contract that we have to transmit 50% of the science should be completed, right? Yes, only transmitted 10%. I didn't misread that. We're fully connected. We have data transfer. We're directly connected. Apparently you can't re-enable this remotely. Okay, well, I disabled it. We're coming back here anyway, so we'll have our engineers and scientists troubleshoot that when we get back, I guess. Not too much else to say, other than we need the ionographer to go back. I mean, it wasn't working anyway, so... To get the ionographer, of course, we need 550 science, which pretty much means we need to bring the Griffin 3L back. So let's fly the Griffin 3L for now, and we are going to take these guys over to Minmus. I'm a little bit concerned about our level of Delta V here. Like, I'm not sure how much it's going to take to do the maneuvers that we want to do in Minmus. So, that's definitely slightly concerning to me. We're going to want to warp to next maneuver. This is a 1 minute 24 second burn time, and this is going to burn out this entire maneuver stage. So we'll warp there. This is going to take a little bit to warp there, but not too bad. Okay, so we want to burn this at 42 seconds, T-minus 42. We'll set our focus to Eve. And this is our current trajectory that we're coming in at, which is fine. I'll warp forward to about T-minus 42 seconds. So we'll stop the warp and burn now. Excellent. We'll burn out this entire stage, and we'll start using our landing stage that we're not going to land with. There was a comment to land on Gilly, and, I mean, that takes very little Delta V. If I feel like we have enough when we're entering orbit of Gilly, we'll give it a go. Otherwise, that may have to wait until another mission. I'm just slightly concerned about our DV right now. But maybe. Maybe. We'll see. Landing on Gilly would be great. So this stage is going to be burned out in just a moment. Here in another 10 seconds of burn. Okay, there we go. And let's see what this last 50 meters per second ends up looking like. Let's just be very cautious here. It's definitely a slightly different burn than we were aiming for. Ooh, that's in Atmo, isn't it? No, Atmo is 90, but I still want to hop back to prograde and correct this slightly. 109. That's good enough. Okay. So we've got about 3,000 DV. Our inclination is definitely wacky because I didn't really do the inclination portion of it. We can do that once we get in here. So we're going to create a maneuver here. And we're not going to bring it down super low. Like, we're not going to circularize this. We're just going to bring it within Eve. So something like this. Minimal DV. This will allow us to get all of our in-space low readings, and then go back up for in-space high, push our periapsis back out to encapsulate Gilly's orbit, match planes with Gilly, and then see what we can do. In theory, this shouldn't be too much DV. The inclination change might be, though, because that's a pretty extreme inclination change. So we'll have to see. For right now, though, I think all we have to do is just warp to right here. But before we do that, I'm just going to quick save. I don't know why, I'm feeling a little paranoid about this. So here we come. We are on a course to Eve. Fantastic. And this is going to be worth so much science, especially if we do land on Gilly. And I really like the idea. If our Delta V maneuvers don't take us too low, like, what is our minimum for getting back? That's a good question. We probably don't need to inclination change, right? I don't know. We'll have to see. For now, we'll grab all of our science. So, we'll grab all of this. Excellent. And we're not going to spend too much time orbiting Eve for the crew reports and EVA reports. That's not really going to be a thing that we're going to do too much of. So we'll grab the EVA reports here, and then we will do what we did previously and go reset these. Hang on. I didn't collect that. So we may as well keep that, collect the data, restore it, open up the service bay, collect this data, restore that. No point in closing that because we are going to be back. We'll hop in, collect all data that we can. Not all items can be stored, but that's fine. We'll grab the mystery goo observation and materials study. Bob will EVA again. Turn on his RCS propellant. And get stuck on that engine. There we go. Don't get a big head, Bob. It's not a good thing. So now he'll collect this data and restore the Science Junior again. Collect this data. Did we get the data? Review stored data. Yeah, we did. Okay. So now we'll need to restore this. If we can get there. Come on. Restore that. There we go. Close. And we'll just hop right on in. There we go. Did this not get restored? It did. Okay, we're not going to do this material study. I'm going to move this to 10, being the minimum science right now. We don't have anywhere else to store it. So we'll just collect everything we can. Not all items can be stored. We were unable to. Okay. So now we need to warp towards in space low. So I'm not sure exactly where we cross over that. Particular threshold, probably within the orbit of Gilly. We want to be pointing retrograde, for sure. And let's go ahead and warp forward a little further. Okay, that's still in space high. Still in space high. Okay. We'll warp forward another half hour. The warp speed is kind of getting lower, of course. I just want to double check. Eve's atmospheric height is 90 kilometers. Okay, so we will be well out of the atmosphere. We absolutely do not want to touch that atmosphere. It's not going to be a good thing. Still in space high. We're not going to be in space low for very long. I'm pretty confident about that. Okay, not there. Still need to get a little closer. There we go. That's in space near. We'll crew report, temperature scan, atmospheric pressure scan, mystery goo observation, materials study. We'll have Bob EVA and keep that. We're not going to reset this yet, though. We're just going to grab these. Oh, that's Lowlands. Okay. So we want to burn this at T minus 14 seconds. Eve's Shallows, Western Sea, actually, is what we got there. Just waiting to see if we get any other biomes here. We're just really doing this one pass. There's Shallows. Excellent. Okay, so far, not much more. Up there's Highlands. Grab that. We're almost to burn time. So we will begin our burn in just a couple seconds. Now. Okay, that's enough. What's our periapsis looking like? Perfect. That'll do. Okay, we are now going to have Bob EVA. I'm going to quick save again, because I'm feeling very paranoid about this. I don't know why, but I am. So, we're going to have him come on over here, collect this data, and restore. And the same thing here, collect this data, and in fact, I'm going to say don't show that again. I'm well aware that it cannot be run again. Restore that, close, and then we're going to need to hop back in. There we go. We'll collect everything that we can. There we go. We'll grab another Mystery Goo observation and another material study. We'll have Bob EVA. And then he's going to go reset this. Technically, he's going to collect the data and then restore it. There we go. Oh, peaks. Fantastic. We'll grab that too. And we'll hop back in. We'll collect everything that we can. There we go. And now, we're going to warp towards the apoapsis, where we are going to simply do a prograde burn to push this out. That is definitely more than I want to push it out. To push it out something like this, I guess. Like, I want to encapsulate Gilly's orbit. Actually, let's just set this as our focus here. Okay. This is the ascending node here. Okay. Well, I still definitely do want to push this out this direction. Like, I want to bring it in something like this, but I want it to be a bit more radial. It's an Eve escape. And that's an Eve escape. I'm confused by what's happening here. Oh, we have a second encounter. That's what's going on. This is not helping the descending node. This is really not helping it. Okay. Ideally, we want to bring it in something kind of like this. I mean, there's only so much that we can do from this angle, right? But then, once we have this burn done, then we can do another burn over here, which I'm not going to chain these, but something like we can then burn at this descending node and encircle it and hit the correct inclination. Yeah, I think this is fine. So let's go ahead and warp to this maneuver. There we go, and we're going to want to hit this maneuver as closely as possible. we're going to start moving real slow towards the apoapsis with this particular orbit. That was the trade-off we made with being fuel efficient. And then on the way out, we can maybe gravity assist around Eve. Might be a possibility. We'll see. This is going to be a 1 minute and 5 second burn. We'll just go ahead and get over to the maneuver node, like so. So we want to burn this at T-minus 32 1/2 seconds. And we want to burn it quite precisely. So right there. So far, so good on this burn. We're getting our inclination smoothed out a little bit anyway. So that's pretty great. Just going to adjust our heading very slightly here. That'll do. Chasing the node a little bit. That's good enough. Okay, at this descending node, we want to fix our inclination. We want to get our inclination to be this up here, but we also want to throw some retrograde into that. Like that. That actually almost gives us an encounter. We can get an encounter like that. What's that encounter look like? That's fine. I love it. This is glorious. That's a fantastic encounter. Okay. Now we're technically coming in a bit below it, but that's fine. Gilly is so minuscule in its gravity. Our thrust to weight is going to be really, really high. Okay, so let's just orient for this burn. And let's warp to that. Excellent. So this is a 54-second burn, so we want to burn this at 27 seconds. We'll just warp forward towards that a bit. Okay, just adjusting our heading and burning. The very smallest of changes over Gilly are going to have very, very large effects. I think we have enough fuel to land on Gilly. Realistically, we may. We'll have to see, but I'm not fully committing to it yet, but I'm strongly leaning towards it. Okay. I'm going to be much more cautious from here with this particular burn. Very small changes have a very large effect. You know what? We'll save the extra 1.6 dV. So over Gilly here, we're going to... Oof. We're going to need to not reverse our directionality. just do something kind of like this and circularize over Gilly. This should be fine. And we can just kind of pick a spot. I mean, there's not really anywhere flat on Gilly, which is potentially an issue. Hopefully we don't do too much bouncing. But it'll be something kind of like this. So we'll warp to this position. Because here we come, Gilly. Our encounter isn't until over here. But we are going to grab all of our in-space high that we can, and then our in-space low. It's going to be tight. Any way we slice it, we're going to have very, very tight DV requirements for this mission. Mystery Goo observation, materials study. We'll have Bob hop out and grab the in-space high EVA report. There we go. We'll collect everything we can in the... We brought all these things. That is fine. We can deploy them on Gilly. I didn't realize that we had brought those. That's completely fine. We'll collect everything that we can. We'll have Bob EVA. And he'll head on down. And restore the Science Junior. And... No, I want to not do that. Restore the Mystery Goo containment unit. We'll observe that. We'll keep that data. Collect the data. Restore it again. Close. Then we'll go up. Observe the materials bay. Keep that. Collect it. Restore it. And then we'll go up and store that in the pod. There we go. Okay, so our next maneuver is to enter orbit around Gilly. And then we'll have to bring this down to in-space low. So we may as well drop this, not quite that low, but down to something like this, maybe like 10 kilometers. That should be plenty. Okay, so there we go. That is, however, a job for next episode. This is a lot of firsts that we are getting in this particular mission, and this is a lengthy one, and there's still at least one more episode of this, possibly two, for this particular mission. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.